I told you, I would probably buy a pickup truck as my first ever vehicle. You know why? I go to the racetrack, I have one bike there, and I always miss my other bike. And I say, if I had it here, I could do one more session on it. So that's where the whole, like the entire dream is built on the idea saying, Anand will call and say, come, the racetrack is this weekend. I'll load all my bikes and I'll go there. Then I have my full garage to select what I want to ride from is the entirety of the dream. And I'm willing to put up with the impracticality of this dream because to me, my personal primary mode of transport is a motorcycle. It's not a car. So this car to me is a full-on luxury. If I ever buy a pickup truck, it will be with the idea saying, I don't know when I'm actually going to use it. But what I'm buying it for is to be able to load the back, take the motorcycle and go somewhere. That's why that luxury works for me. That's my use case. My use case is a throwaway use case in that sense, which is why obviously it's not happened yet. I don't know when it'll happen either. What do you think about that? When does a lifestyle vehicle become your upgrade? Something super impractical, but you want it.
Right. Like, so the, sorry, not Hilux. You want the V-Cross.
V-Cross is cheaper. I'm happy
What did you say?
High cross. Did I say high cross?
I don't know.
No, I said pickup. I never said a name.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because we used to keep discussing the V-Cross.
Yeah, I'd get a V-Cross. It doesn't make any sense. The Hilux's price makes no sense.
Because the V-Cross, I mean, that price is, but you have discounts. Anyways, V-Cross.
A used V-Cross starts at about 12 and goes up to about 19. There is no way you're getting a Hilux in that kind of money here.
So the V-Cross, the reason why that as an example of a indulgence, like that silly indulgence, doesn't fit into my picture very well is because that car is just so good, right? In so many different ways. You look at it as a massive pickup, but it's
dead easy to drive, yeah.
So easy.
Yeah.
It's got car-like comfort. It's got long distance ability, except for its size. It's got city ability. It's got the flexibility. So it's a great car, but 100%. Right? If somebody's going for an indulgence, and more often than not, when we're talking about upgrade and we're talking about an indulgence, we're talking about luxury cars. I think that emotional need is what you have to accept. Thinking about it from a performance or an outright ability of the machine standpoint, today the gap between what you would get in mass market brands, like let's say we talk about Skoda, right? Premium, mass premium or whatever, right? Versus an Audi or something else like that, right? The difference is not going to be Zameen Asman.
No, not anymore.
Right?
Yeah.
The difference will be in equipment.
And maybe at the, maybe service experience, if at all, showroom experience, if at all, or something like that.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. But actually going out on the road with the vehicle, in terms of the ability, the difference is not going to be that vast.
Yeah, for sure.
So the reason to step up to the brand is the brand.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. And it is always diminishing returns. Okay, so it's like on the crash safety podcast, somebody says, so why do you buy an RI? Because diminishing returns. I like that brand and I'm willing to pay for that. Okay, one, it does a lot of comfort things for me, which I thoroughly enjoy, with the cheaper helmets don't. But in terms of actual crash safety, I know that the RI is better. But does that mean all the other helmets are terrible? No. If they've met ECE certification, for example, they've crossed the basic barrier. Now we are arguing about how much beyond the basic is my RI versus whatever the cheaper helmet you are. And this is the same kind of diminishing returns you will see when you jump from what I'd call mid-luxury cars to top luxury cars, right? The mid-luxury cars are very good now. And beyond that is diminishing returns until you get to the other end of the spectrum. Now you're spending 5-6 crores on a car, which is super, super, super high end. In the middle are vehicles that are incrementally better at various things. And I'm saying incrementally, the AC will be a little bit quieter.
And so many luxury cars, like think about it, we don't get ventilated seats. Like so many, I mean, even keyless entry was not common in the 50-60 lakh range until recently.
Correct. So you'll take a backward step on some of these things to gain the idea saying, I drive a brand that everybody recognizes. The showroom guys treat me like a king or queen. The service is a little bit more polished. It may not be better. It may not be less expensive. It won't be less expensive. But at least it is more polished. Where the guy calls you and says, sir, your vehicle is ready. Would you like to have it clean? If you're coming in half an hour, otherwise clean it later in the day. And you're paying, and look.
We're not living in England, man.
I know it sounds I know it sounds frivolous, but it's there. And there is value associated with this. You know, it's like I remember this phone call I had with Apple where I was failing to pay for Apple Care for something. It just wouldn't go through. Just the fact that I had 4 phone calls in the space of 10 minutes where they called me back every single time, and every new person remembered what the previous person's conversation with me had been, it changed my idea of Apple being a premium brand, because they didn't waste my time going over the case history again and again 4 times. And the fourth person basically said, here's a payment link. I'm holding. And they held. And I tried to pay and it went through. And they knew. So I didn't even have to say, yeah, it's done. This is, sir, I can see that it has reflected. Now this email will come, etc., etc. And they close that loop for me. The seamless manner in which they close the loop tells me it is a premium company that's giving me a premium experience, right? Now you can argue that the device, whatever costs them $200 to make, and they sell it to me for $800. Yes. But these are the little privileges that come with that I happen to value and you may not. And this is the delta between the mid-premium and the luxury premium, right? The Porsche concierge is not going to be a magician. But you have a concierge means you can call up somebody and ask for some random piece of information, help, whatever it is. And a Skoda car may not give you the concierge, right? But if you were to take a Panamera-sized car and take the equivalent Skoda, are they night and day in how exactly they drive? If they were to put the same engines in the two, there will be a difference. But will it be night and day anymore today in 2024? No.
If that sounds like too much philosophy for you, we'd recommend heading to the main MotorInc channel. You'll find deep dives into the cars and bikes there as well.